They stay together. Spec Miatas carbon copy of the start for the first group. As the Spec Miatas stay together, everybody get pumped up. Huge field of cars. The in-car camera of Andrew Charbonneau catching the green flag as everyone stays together, the top four trying to pull away from the rest of the pack as they go down that long front straightaway and into one. And it is a full train of over 15 cars before there's any break in the action at all. Field already starting to break up about mid-pack as this huge field of cars can't possibly stay together on a tight turn like that. This is one of the most critical turns at Road America, a tight left-hander where you see a lot of runoffs, particularly as these tires heat up. Meanwhile, up front, with the first start, it is Costello leading the way and opens up about 3 car lengths over Fandozzi, and the rest of the pack follows. A good clean run by the T3s in the showroom stocks as headed for turn 5 for the first time, that gaggle of Spec Miatas. From the split start, the top 3 cars in Spec Miata starting to set the pace now with some clean air, whereas from 4th place back it is extremely crowded and speed beginning to be scrubbed off. What this is going to do for the rest of the race is we're going to see close contests and some paint exchange between different groups of cars, some as deep as 5 or 10, others as 4 or 5 further back in the pack, leaning on each other. But as they scrub off the speed, the top 3 Spec Miatas looking very good. In a crowded field like this, Road America can spread them out pretty quick. Coming out the end of the carousel, now getting up to speed, these cars have established their rhythm. Many of the drivers now able to reach that 9/10 they're looking for, and we are going to see some cars leaving the track before many more laps are complete. Costello taking advantage of that clean air opens up a little spread over Fandozzi, but making a bid is Steely. As they come out at 12, you can see that the field has spread out a bit. Into the carousel, the Spec Miatas. Drago with that clean air has the advantage over Jeff Labonte, who's trailing by about half a second. Patrick Sandlin still very much in the hunt. Top 3 continue to set the pace on lap 1 as they come into 12, but further back in the pack, it's 2 and 3 abreast as they come through 12. It's about time for something to give, and the recipient of that is Justin Elder in car 29 as he parks it in the gravel. On lap 2, Costello's Honda still leads the way, but it's Fisher in the VW along with Aaron Staley now running third. By lap 2, Drago and Labonte had a new partner as Charbonneau moves into third. By lap 2, they're already stringing out, but that's not surprising on a 4-mile course. Up to full speed, a lot of racing going on deep in the pack, and already the gloves have come off. And that also means that we're going to have some cars do likewise, as we're seeing right here. A 4-wheel slide. One good thing about Road America, you've got a lot of runoff room. And then the Gale comes out, as we call the cherry picker, to hit for that dismantled car. By lap 2, Kevin Fandozzi out of St. Joseph's, Michigan, the Cobalt, experiences mechanical difficulty and pulls off as he exits 12. At least he had enough sense to park in the shade. It was hot that day. Coming out of the kink, Charbonneau makes a magnificent pass, and I know that Go Racing TV will send him a copy of that, and he'll show it to everyone he knows. Tires are heating up, and so are the drivers. In 94, Tom Sager decides to take a little off-course excursion as well and parks it right into the gravel, but able to get restarted. The Costello, Fisher, and Staley show continues as they get by a car that went off a little earlier. Drago retakes the lead coming out of 1 as Christian Beaver out of Missouri turns the Gale into a tire wall. Ooh, that hurt. Road America has some of the finest corner crews in the world, and they certainly had their work cut out for them during this race. What happens when Mazda meets Gale? It was not a happy marriage. 3 laps into the race, we went into our first full course caution, which is unusual for Road America. Normally you can take care of a situation because it takes so long for the cars to get around on a 4-mile course. You can localize your yellows, but with 2 cars dismantled on the track, the stewards wisely chose to get everybody together. That worked out well for those that were running deep in the pack. Wasn't too good a deal for those top 3 cars that had pulled away. Green flag comes out on lap 6 for the restart, and it's Fisher getting the inside line as they go into 1. A big beneficiary of that full course caution was Chip Van Verst, who had to start at the back of the pack, was able to close up and moved into 13th. After the restart, a tight 4-car battle with up front, Costello and Fisher side by side as they drag up the hill, and as they scrubbed off speed, Staley's able to move right up on their tail in drafting position. The exit from 5 looks smooth, but if you get too wide, look out. There's a suspension shop someplace getting ready to make a lot of money. Working lap 7 with 3 to go, Lipperini leading in showroom stock C and looking good. With Costello in the lead, Fisher and Staley give each other some room through 5. They don't want to lose that draft. It's still a 3-car race for first. On lap 8, Drago and Charbonneau stay close together, and Van Verst, as we mentioned, who started at the back of the pack, has already moved up into 4th in class. Intense competition further back in the pack, and the inevitable finally happens. 2 cars come together. There will be only 1 survivor. Parked into the wall while the other culprit goes off into the sunset. At the completion of 8 laps, it's Costello, Fisher, and Staley. The trio continues to make it a very close race. Toby Grahovic, the showroom stock B leader, opens up 3.5 seconds on Jack Tippins, who's running 2nd in SSB. Charbonneau and Drago continue to battle it out, with Charbonneau getting the run out of 14. And John Phillips finds himself looking the wrong way, and we've all been there.